So Netflix doesn't always get enough credit for the limited series game, but I'm here to tell you, they have been absolutely cooking. Today we're going through 6 Netflix miniseries and limited series that you can start and finish in a single weekend. No season 2 cliffhangers you have to wait a year for, no commitment anxiety, just clean, satisfying beginning to end television. And real quick, all the stream availability info for every show today is in the first pinned comment below. I put it there so you've got zero excuses. All right, let's get into it. All right, I want to start with something that I genuinely think doesn't get talked about nearly enough anymore, and that bothers me. This came out in 2017, and people kind of moved on, but this is the kind of show that deserves to live forever in the conversation. It's Victorian Canada. There's a woman who's been in prison for 15 years for a double murder, and the wild part, she says she doesn't remember doing it. A doctor comes in to help her recover those memories, and what follows is one of the most quietly unsettling viewing experiences I've had in years. Now here's the thing, this isn't a thriller that's trying to shock you every 10 minutes. It's more like a slow, creeping unease that builds and builds until you realize you have absolutely no idea what the truth is, and neither does anyone else on screen. The unreliable narrator thing is done so well here. You're watching Grace tell her story, and the whole time you're going, is she manipulating him? Is she a victim? Is she doing both simultaneously? The show never fully answers that, and somehow that's more satisfying than any clean resolution would be. Sarah Gadon is incredible in the lead, magnetic in this quiet, controlled way that makes every small expression feel loaded. And Margaret Atwood wrote the source novel, with Sarah Polley handling the adaptation, so you've got 2 of the sharpest minds in Canadian storytelling working together, and it shows in every single frame. If you like your mysteries with actual substance underneath them, this one is essential. This is ALIAS Grace, and it absolutely holds up.
Now, if ALIAS Grace is the slow burn, this next one is the show you put on Friday night and suddenly it's 2 a.m. and you finished it and you're wide awake and slightly furious about the state of the world, which honestly is a sign of great television. This is a British political thriller. Courtroom drama, media frenzy, accusations, power, privilege, all of it. And what David E. Kelley does really well here is make every single character feel slippery. You think you've got someone figured out, and then the floor shifts, and then it shifts again. By episode 4, I had changed my mind about every character at least twice. Rupert Friend plays a politician who is, and I mean this as a character description, not a compliment, deeply, effortlessly convincing. The kind of person who lies so smoothly they've probably convinced themselves. He's genuinely uncomfortable to watch, which means he's doing his job perfectly. But Sienna Miller as the wife is the real standout for me. She's playing someone who is holding everything together through pure force of controlled composure, and watching the edges of that composure start to crack is riveting. Some of the best TV acting I've seen in this genre. The show also has real things to say about consent, power, and who gets the benefit of the doubt in a he said, she said situation. But it wraps all of that inside something that's genuinely propulsive and fun to watch. 6 episodes, perfect weekend show. This is Anatomy of a Scandal. Okay, so I need a moment here because this story, the true story this show is based on, is one of the most genuinely unhinged things to come out of the wellness influencer era. And that is saying something because that era was full of unhinged things. An Australian woman built a massive Instagram following by claiming she cured her terminal brain cancer through diet and lifestyle changes. She turns it into an app, a cookbook, a whole wellness empire, hundreds of thousands of followers, real money, real influence, real people making real health decisions based on her advice. She never had brain cancer. I'll give you a second with that. The show, created and co-written by Samantha Strauss, is inspired by that true story, and what it does really well is dig into the mechanics of the deception, not just the what, but the how. How do you build a lie that size? How does the social media ecosystem not just allow it, but actively accelerate it? And, this is the part that makes you uncomfortable, how much did people want to believe it? Because that's the really unsettling question underneath all of it. Caitlin Dever plays the influencer at the center of everything, and she's excellent. She makes the character comprehensible without ever making her sympathetic, which is a genuinely hard line to walk. Equal parts infuriating and completely bingeable. This is Apple Cider Vinegar.
I want to be honest with you. When I first heard the premise of this show, I thought it sounded fine. A road rage incident leads to an escalating feud. Okay, could be funny, could be a decent dark comedy. Fine. I was not prepared for what this show actually is. Steven Yeun and Ali Wong play two people who nearly collide in a parking lot and then spend the rest of the series making each other's lives actively worse in increasingly creative ways. But here's the thing. Underneath all the chaos, this is genuinely one of the most emotionally intelligent shows I've seen in years. Both characters are running from something. Both are performing a version of their lives that isn't real. And their beef with each other, as destructive as it is, becomes the only thing in their lives that feels honest. The dark humor is sharp, but it never loses its empathy. You laugh, and then you feel slightly bad about laughing, and then you feel something genuine about these characters, and then you laugh again. That loop is the whole experience, and it works every single time. Each episode is around 30 minutes, so 10 episodes fits into a weekend with room to breathe. And it tells a complete, satisfying story. No cliffhanger, no waiting. Just a beginning, middle, and an end that will sit with you for days. Road rage has never been this profound. This is beef. All right, I want to be upfront with you here. This one is not a comfortable watch. This is not the show you put on when you want to relax. This is the show you watch when you want television to actually mean something, and you're okay with feeling a lot of feelings on a Sunday afternoon. Margaret Qualley plays a young mother who leaves an abusive relationship with basically nothing and tries to rebuild her life while taking care of her 2-year-old daughter. It sounds straightforward, but the show handles the complexity of that situation with a level of care and intelligence that I deeply respect. Specifically, she was a victim of emotional abuse, not physical abuse, and the show explores how that distinction affects whether people believe her, help her, and how she even sees herself as a survivor. That's a nuance most shows wouldn't bother with. Qualley is extraordinary in this. There's no performance artifice, it just feels completely real in a way that's genuinely hard to pull off. And her scenes opposite Andie MacDowell, her real-life mother playing her fictional mother, have this layer of authenticity you simply cannot manufacture. It's heavy, I won't pretend otherwise, but it's never heavy without purpose, and it earns every emotional moment it asks you to sit through. It's also, in its own way, a story about love, between a mother and daughter, and between a person and their own survival instincts. One of the most honest things on this list. This is MAID.
And we are closing this list out with something that is the complete tonal opposite of what we just talked about. And honestly, the pacing of this list could not be more intentional. After MAID, you deserve something fun. This is a Nantucket murder mystery with a cast that is almost aggressively stacked. Beautiful setting, obscene wealth, a wedding that clearly cost more than most people's homes, and then, right before the ceremony, a body. Which is terrible for everyone at the wedding and absolutely wonderful for us watching at home. The fun of this show is playing detective from your couch. Every character has something to hide, every conversation has a second layer, and the show keeps reshuffling who looks guilty in a way that's genuinely entertaining rather than frustrating. I changed my prime suspect multiple times, and each time felt earned rather than cheap. Nicole Kidman continues what I can only describe as her extended era of making prestige TV mysteries extremely watchable just by being in them. She's surrounded by Liev Schreiber, Dakota Fanning, Eve Hewson, and Megan Fahey, and everyone is clearly having a great time playing these beautifully flawed, fabulously wealthy characters. 6 episodes, completely bingeable, a perfect way to end your weekend on a high note. This is the perfect couple. And that is your weekend completely sorted. 6 shows, a Victorian murder mystery, a British political thriller, a wellness scam, a road rage existential crisis, a story about survival, and a Nantucket murder party. There's genuinely something on this list for everyone. Drop in the comments which one you're planning to watch first. I really do read them, and I'm genuinely curious what's going to grab people. If you've already seen any of these, tell me what you thought. These comment sections are always the best part. If you're new here, subscribe. I put out videos like this every week. If you're a regular, you already know the deal, and thank you sincerely for coming back. Stream links for every show are in the first pinned comment. Your couch is waiting. Go watch something great. I'll see you in the next one.